Alright guys, welcome back. Today we have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover. We have quite a few different topics today. One talks about PlayStation announcing its own EVO 2022 livestream, which will apparently feature some reveals. Sony also comments on their subscription service and how they believe it will take several years for a competitor to rival Game Pass. We're talking about a certain feature being discontinued on the PS5. We have a few different topics regarding The Last of Us and a new event that is happening in August. So before we dive into these topics, do me a favor, be sure to hit the like button to help the video out and show it your support. If you are new here to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. And while you're at it, also consider hitting that join button. Channel members do get exclusive early access to some of my content and some of my videos. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to join. But we're diving into the first topic, and we are reading from Push Square, where they say EVO 2022 is happening this weekend starting on Friday, August 5th, and Sony will apparently be trying its best to curate the experience for those of us watching from home. Traditionally, EVO's tournaments are live streamed across a bunch of different Twitch channels, usually separated by game. We assume that this will be the case during the weekend, but PlayStation will be hosting its own stream alongside the usual, more focused coverage. Sony's official EVO Lounge sounds like it'll be the place to go if you want an overview of how the event as a whole is going. The company's own description of the stream reads, quote, "A live show dedicated to covering all the competition's exciting events and content. The show is hosted by players and commentators who live and breathe FGC. Viewers will be able to stay updated with the latest at EVO and watch exclusive content that won't be available elsewhere," end quote. The most interesting part, though, it looks like this is where we'll be getting some fresh information on current and upcoming fighting games. We can expect announcements from this stream as the description continues, quote, "The EVO Lounge will feature top-shelf curated show coverage, bracket updates, interviews with players, and exciting content and reveals from developers and publishers such as Arc System Works, Warner Brothers Games, Capcom, SNK, and Bandai Namco Entertainment, as well as all the latest from the scene with pro players and casters. Viewers will be treated to the latest news for our favorite games and a few sneak peeks of what's ahead. The EVO Lounge will be broadcast on both Twitch and YouTube across August 5th and August 6th. So as we know, this was an acquisition that Sony made. They did acquire EVO, and we're starting to see that further integrated here. So if you are a fighting game fan, this is likely something you're going to want to pay attention to. It's hard to say how significant the new announcements and reveals will be, but there's no doubt that the fighting game community is going to be expecting something, and they are out here, Sony that is, letting us know that you can expect something at EVO. So let me know if this is something you're going to tune into. We're moving on to the next topic. This is reading from Gaming Bolt, where the title of the article says, Sony believes it would take several years for a competitor to rival Game Pass. Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard is currently being vetted for approval by different regulatory bodies across the world. Recently, Brazil's regulatory body made all documents for the review process available online, which includes responses from third parties like Sony, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, and more about various topics. One such topic is Game Pass, Xbox's subscription service that has over 25 million subscribers as of January 2022. Sony's response is interesting. It felt that subscription services were competing with titles that must be purchased for a one-time fee. However, it said that the low upfront cost of subscription services may be anti-competitive regarding publishers that require selling these games to recoup the investments made into the titles. It also felt that this could result in lower quality games, which would be harmful to customers as well. Continuing with its response, Sony said that Game Pass has captured approximately 60 to 70% of the global market for subscription services over the past 5 years. The market share in Brazil is reportedly even higher at 70 to 80% of PC subscription services comprised of Game Pass. Sony believes that creating a rival to Microsoft's subscription service, even with substantial investments, would require several years for a competitor. And so it's also worth noting, the article points out that, Sony made their opinion on this pretty clear, where Sony's CFO Hiroki Totoki said, quote, AAA type games on PS5, if we distribute that on the subscription service, we may need to shrink the investment needed for that, and that will deteriorate the first party title quality, and that is our concern, end quote. This is something we talk about all the time. And so the reason why I wanted to highlight this is because this actually could be one of the reasons why Sony is deciding that they're not going to follow Microsoft down this path. Maybe they view it as, Microsoft is too far ahead and it just wouldn't be worth it for them to try to compete with that. I'm going to be honest though, I really don't know if I agree with Sony's assumption here, only because I'm pretty sure that if Sony were to announce that their big AAA titles are going to be released into PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium day and date, at that point, I think it's safe to say PS Plus Extra, at the very least, would catch up very quickly to Game Pass. But it, again, would require substantial investment. So, as we know, Sony is placing their bets on the future for them being in live service titles that can supplement their single-player titles, not doing day and date into a service. So let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on to the next topic, apparently Sony is planning to discontinue the PS5 accolades feature due to lack of use. This is being reported on by PlayStation Universe. Sony Interactive Entertainment has revealed in a notice on its Japanese website that it will discontinue the PS5 accolades feature as a result of limited use. While an exact date has yet to be confirmed regarding when the accolades feature will be discontinued, it looks like it will happen at some point in fall 2022. Accolades allow players to offer feedback to other gamers that you had a positive multiplayer experience with, including helpful, welcoming, and good sport. Unfortunately, Sony has revealed that this feature has not seen much use from its players, and therefore that is why they are going to disable it. So I wanted to kind of let you guys know about this because I feel as though most PS5 owners are unaware of this because, yeah, I haven't really seen this feature used very much either. The last game that I think I saw it kind of implemented with was Ghost of Tsushima Legends, the multiplayer aspect of Ghost of Tsushima. They had it integrated there where you could just use it, and it did get some use. I did actually get a few accolades. And so some of Sony's first-party titles were utilizing it, but outside of that, it just wasn't something that was picked up. And so I really don't know that anybody's actually going to care about this, but let me know. Is this a feature that you used, or is it something that maybe you weren't even aware of until just now? Moving on from that, we have a few different things to talk about regarding The Last of Us. Apparently, fans are going to love the HBO Last of Us series, and it does a good job in honoring the game. This is coming from Bella Ramsey, the actress who is going to portray Ellie in the upcoming show, and she says, "I think people are going to love the adaptation. I know there were people worried about it. Of course, when something is so precious to you as a viewer, as a gamer, of course you're going to be worried about the adaptation. But honestly, I think people are going to love it. It very much follows the emotional beats of the game, and it's very respectful of the game and honors the game. But the live-action series adaptation brings new life into it. It explores different avenues that weren't explored so much in the game. I do think people are going to love it. I hope they do. It was so much fun to make, such an experience. I hope that audiences feel that experience too when they come on this adventure with us." And so, for those who are unaware, The Last of Us HBO series is expected to air sometime in early 2023. And yeah, let me know what you think about that. I hope what she's saying is true. This is a series that I'm definitely going to be tuning into, and I do hope that it honors the game and ultimately is satisfying. Continuing on with The Last of Us, we have another interesting topic. This is coming from Push Square, where the title reads, "The Last of Us 2 is, quote, one of the greatest games ever made," end quote. This is coming from the directors of Avengers Endgame. Anthony and Joe Russo, best known as the directors of blockbuster films like Avengers Endgame, have stated that The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the greatest games ever made. The quote comes from a recent IGN video in which the pair is presented with various chase sequences from video games and asked to rate them. When Uncharted 4 Thief's End's Madagascar chase is shown, Joe calls the series one of the best action gaming franchises of all time. Later in the video, The Last of Us 2's hospital sequence in which you encounter that boss is presented. Again, Joe is quick to praise the game, calling it one of the greatest games ever made and saying the camera work is a page out of Steven Spielberg's book. So I wanted to present this information to you guys because I think it's interesting, right? The Russo brothers are highly regarded and very well respected in the movie industry, obviously for directing something like Avengers Endgame. Pretty big deal. And so they're coming out here saying that The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the greatest games ever made, and they have some high praise for Uncharted as well. Let me know what you think about that. But we are going to close out this video with, I think, a pretty exciting topic, although I do also understand why maybe some people are preparing themselves for disappointment. So Geoff Keighley is out here hyping up Gamescom opening night live, which is happening on Tuesday, August 23rd in Cologne, Germany. It's obviously something that a lot of gamers are going to tune into. Now, we know when it comes to Geoff Keighley, we have to maybe take it with a pinch of salt. I mean, a lot of people get very hyped for his shows and end up feeling somewhat disappointed. That's not to say that they're bad, but it's just they don't always meet people's expectations. I think that is maybe the best way to put it. Now, here's something important to take note of. We know that Sony won't be at Gamescom. So Sony's not going to be there. However, I do want to point something out. I don't necessarily think that means there won't be anything there regarding PlayStation. We will obviously see third-party games, but there's also a lot of partnerships that Sony has with other publishers and other development teams. And so while we may not see anything from PlayStation Studios, I do still think there is a chance we could see something from one of their partners. But we also do know that this is happening at the end of August, and PlayStation fans are anticipating a September showcase from PlayStation, so it also wouldn't surprise me if nothing is there for PlayStation because they're choosing to save it for their own showcase. But nonetheless, I think it's safe to say that we can hopefully expect at least one exciting announcement at Gamescom. At least that's the hope. So I'll definitely be tuning in. I'll definitely be streaming that. But that's all I have for you in this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.